Now, okay, so here we go. So we're gonna create a folder for this project, right? You can name it anything you want. So I will name it weather and cd into weather. So right now I don't have any folder inside the weather folder. I will create a front-end app as well as a back-end app, right? So how do you create a React app then? What's the command? So I usually use npm init React app. I'm gonna call it front-end. Okay. Okay, while we're waiting for React to create an app, so we can also create an app for the backend side as well. So today we're gonna use Express generator. Where is it? Express generator. Here we go. To use it, you need to install it first. Okay. So npm install global, right? Remember the -g here means globally. You can use MEX, but I don't remember the syntax for that. So usually I use npm init here. Name like this usually. So to use Express generator, you need to install it first. It's here, and then you can use something like this. Okay, so there's a command line in the. So what I thought I just use this line is good. Maybe Express generator. Yeah, so that's the command line to create the backend app, a Node.js app, and to run that, I think you need to install Express generator. Here we go. Here's the official documentation. So in the lab workshop, I think I was not sure that if you guys had it or not. So go to the doc. You may need to install this tool, Express generator. And then if you already had that tool, just run this command line on your terminal. Yeah. So right now I should have the front end folder, right? So if you want to create another for the backend side, you can do something like this. So basically, we use Express generator to create a boilerplate for us. And no view here means like we cannot use any view engine for our Express app. And here's the name of the app or the folder, right? So I'm going to run this. Okay, it's done. So we install React app. It's just for the front end. It has nothing to do with the backend. So I did it in 2 different terminals here, right? Because it takes time to run React app. So I finished generate a boilerplate for my Express app. Now you can do npm install cd into that backend, npm install. Okay. And then if you want to run the app, you can run this command. All right, I will do it again. Okay, don't worry. Here, so in our weather app, weather folder, the root folder for the whole project, you will run this command to create a front-end app, right? Front-end app. Okay. So this one is to create a React app. Yeah, the same thing. So now you cd into front-end. Okay. And for the backend side, You will run this command to create the backend application. The word backend here, the argument backend here is the name of the folder. You can name it anything you want. Okay. So you create, run that command and cd into the folder that we created just now. Then run npm install. Okay. So after you done it, you should see your folder structure like this. So you have the folder bin, normal tool, public, browse, and 3 files. Right. Is that okay? Okay, is everyone with me? Have you done? I'm going to run a poll. What? Is it different from reactive file structure? Really? Use the same tool for the front end. I don't think it's different though. Let's have a look. What's different? Yeah, it's the same. The command is different, but it does the same thing, right? Uh, what previous one? This one or backend? Hello. Let me create a poll. Have you done? Yes. We launch. Ta-da! Yay! So right now we have the front end app, which is our React app, and the back end app, which is this is the boilerplate for our Express app. Okay. Remember to do npm install so that we can have this folder, not modules. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. So let's work on the front end a little bit, waiting for people to install or set up the backend, because you already know React, right? So just a little bit of overview. So here I'm going to delete these code I don't need in the app here as well. Okay, so I'm going to install npm install React router DOM. Okay. In index, I'm going to use a router to wrap around our app. Browser router as router. React router done. Okay. I don't know why this library takes so long to install. Okay, anyway, so here I'm gonna import switch. What else? Switch route from React router DOM. Okay, so here I'm gonna say if this is my little title, and it's gonna be the switch. Here's I'm gonna have the first route path equal to somewhere component, and close it. So this is gonna be our root route, and the component I'm gonna call it home. So this is gonna be a param, which is I'm gonna call that ICT. So web page, and this one's gonna be home page, and I'm gonna define these two pages right here, so I don't have to create a new folder. That's too much for me right now. So I'm gonna do function home page, and I'm gonna return a div. This is gonna be home page. So guys, please follow this guide, not the learning portal for now. I will update the learning portal later. So the learning portal show you the handlebars. If you want to read more on the handlebar, you can follow that guide, or you can use this guide for React and Express. Okay, so I'm gonna paste it here again. Ta-da! Oh, all right, fine. Okay, guys. The only thing different between this and the one on the learning portal is like the view. We're gonna use handlebars at all. We're gonna use React. Right. So follow this guy. It's very similar to the one on learning portal. Okay, hello. Say something. Okay, for the front end part. So I'm trying to set up the very basic components for the React app here. Page, page, right? So now you can try run your app npm start. Okay, localhost 3000. Got to wait a little bit. Okay, so this is my little title, and this is my home page. If I go to Hanoi, for example, it's gonna show the weather page, right? Okay, just leave it like this here for now. Import browser router as router. You can name it anything you want. This one should be as qua, and then here you need to change this one to qua. That's fine. But qua doesn't make any sense. People usually call it router. Okay. So next is I switch to the backend code, right? This is the front end. This is gonna be your backend. So this is your backend. So I will explain what's happening in here. Okay. Whew, there's a lot of things you don't need to know right now. So so we import Express right here on the first line. Oh, if you want to read it on it, you can find it here. Let me see. Here we go. It's gonna explain everything that happened inside the that happened behind the scenes, right? So if you want, I'm gonna paste it on Discord. Actually, it's on the learning portal. If you want to see it, just click on the link. So here's a link. Okay. So basically, when you run this command, so right now we are not using any view engine. It's very similar though. So here's the file. Okay. Wait, it's not that much similar. Okay. If you don't use any view engine, there's less code, but basically they are the same. You use Express as a framework to create the web server. Okay. Here we go. Express. So these are all required libraries. And you will learn this later, but basically these are the router or the URL or the endpoint. Depend. Usually I would call it endpoints. It's very similar to React router, right? You see index router, you see user router. So here is we import them. We create the app using Express. And you don't need to worry about this. It's a view engine for SPS. Right now we don't have this in our code. So here's the middleware. We will learn it in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow. But basically, these are the tools that it needs to convert a URL string into an JavaScript object or a JSON file, JSON data to JavaScript data. Basically, they do just that. And then so here's we define the router, we import it, and here's we attach it to the app, the Express app, or we use it. They call it use here, means we trying to use it. So you don't need to worry about this at all because I don't think we have it in our code. Yeah, we don't have it. So basically, just ignore this one. They are just error handler that we will learn next week. So that's pretty much it. And then we export the app. So what happened when we export the app then? So go back to the code, you export the app. And then inside the bin folder, we have a file called u.u. In here, we start up by run this lab code. Let me see, server.listen. So here's we starting the application, the Express application, using the port. So by default, it's going to be 3000. Oh, look, what is it? So by default, our Express app will run on port 3000, right? By default. But I don't actually like this port number because because our front-end application, which is React, also start with the port 2000. So now if we run this application on port 2000, there will be a conflict in the port, right? So I will use 5000 as the default port. Just like here in the lab session, I actually wrote it down. Yeah. So if you want to change from 3000 to 5000, go to this file, the root folder, and here's the bin folder, and here's the name of the file, .u. And then on line 15, you change the number from 3000 to 5000. Where's the bin folder? It's in the backend application. Just kidding. What? You don't have it? Really? It's here in your backend folder. In the root of your backend folder. What? Are you sure you're inside backend folder? Did you cd inside? It's here. It's here. It's here. So this is project folder. Inside project folder, we have two little folders, front end and backend. And inside backend, you will see the bin folder, right? Bin folder here. Inside bin folder, you will see www. Okay. Have you tried your machine desktop? It may be there. Did you run dry command and what's your problem? You can see. That's weird. It's not. That folder is not hidden or anything. Just close VS Code and try again to open it again. Code dot. I'm gonna ask again if anyone have problem here. I'm gonna help you. Yeah, guys, this is the setup. It's very important. So make sure you pass this step. Okay. If you have any question, we should fix it now. I'm gonna say yes or no. Relaunch it. Sure, you can open the file control code. No. It's not www.js. It's just www. There's no extension. That file has no extension. Okay. Who else had a problem? Okay, we see 4 people here have problems. Shouldn't be hidden though. Why is it hidden? VS Code will show on hidden file. Yeah. You can set reads and when we happy with that. Okay. Anyone else have problems? Raise your hand so I can see you on the list of students here. Ta-da. Need have. I see 4 people have it's not done. All right, I'm gonna do everything again. So I'm gonna close the backend. Remove RF backend. Okay, so right now I have nothing, right? So we do it again. Go back to this file. I'm gonna run this command. Yeah. Okay, it should be very fast. And then cd into, so here's the instruction, cd into that folder we just created. Okay. And then run npm install. Okay. So that's the default setting. If you want to change something, open the IDE. So by default, it's running on 3000. But here we have two apps that's running on the same port. I don't want to have that type of conflict. So usually I will run my backend application on port 5000, not 5,000. Okay. So at the same time, I would advise you guys to create a git ignore folder as well. And you should ignore these things. First is the non-module folders, so that when you commit and push to GitHub, this folder will not go there. Okay. And another file will be .env always. You don't want to push the two files to GitHub. This folder and this file. Sorry. Okay. So now I can create my env right here for use later. Just leave there. Okay, change this one to 5000. Right, are you okay here? Anyone have problems? I'm gonna relaunch it. Sorry, there's some background noise. Okay, can you hear you now? Git ignore. Okay, you better have this, ignore this folder right now, like right now. So then later on when you do git init and push it to GitHub, it will not go to GitHub. Right now there's nothing inside env yet, so it's empty. Okay. Okay, so after this you can do git init. So as you can see here, you can see this photo is right? The color is right, means it's not tracked by GitHub, by Git. So I'm going to git status here. You see it doesn't track the non-module folders as well as the .env file, which is good. Okay. So I think before here, people are done. Let's move on. Okay. So right now you can start your app to check whether it works or not, right? So here the syntax, the command to start. So you want to run this. Copy that line from the note from the HMD. In Myson to how to start your web server. Copy and paste. Hit enter. It will start your server on port 5000. Okay. Now you can test. Localhost 5000. Okay, if you see this, which means it's fine, right? Relaunch. Yay! At least we have something. You see something? That's good. What? That one no again. So it's by default. It's kept like by default. All right. So when you visit the website, you see the log here, 200, which means the request is okay. That's fine. So now you will have two main routes, the root routes and the user routes. Right? So inside these routes, you will have many smaller routes if you want. You can call it the children route. So index router, today we're going to work inside this router. index router is which was defined inside this folder routes. Yeah, open it, right? You see index and user. So today we are gonna code inside this file, right? So we explain more about it later. That's so because we're using a boilerplate which has a bunch of things that we don't know yet. So for now, just understand that this is gonna be it's kind of like, so for example, right now it's gonna be a root route, right? HTTP localhost 1000. It's gonna start from this route. So if you have another function, for example, I'm gonna say khóa. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna make it bigger. So if you have khóa, that route is gonna be khóa here, okay? And whatever you want to show up on the screen, you can control it like this. Saying, hey, this is khóa, for example. And so if I go to this URL, I'm gonna call it endpoint from now on. If you go to this endpoint, you should see, oh, cannot get khóa, sorry. Go back. Why is it cannot get khóa? That's weird. Wait, what the? We need to remove this index. Index M. You rename it to anything you don't want. It should not be indexed. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Hey, this is index route. Okay. And what's inside env? There's nothing inside env. That's what's inside env. So the reason why it didn't work earlier because when you do npm start, the application doesn't hard reload or doesn't update the change. If you change anything inside your code, it doesn't change anything. So you have to restart your server by pressing Ctrl+C to start the server and then run this command again. Okay. Now you can test. Go to the root route. It will show, hey, this is the index route, which came from this line number 6 here. So if you go to /khóa here, you see, hey, this is khóa, which is from line 11. So if I want to add one more route, so I'm gonna call this one mark here. So I need to change this one, hey, this mark. And even if I save it, and I go to that endpoint, you don't see any, it say cannot get mark because, okay, I will answer that later. Yeah, by default, it's going to be render. There's a big difference between render and send, but let me finish this first. The reason why you cannot see anything or you cannot send a GET request to this endpoint was because the server is not updated, whatever we change here, right? So to make it updated, we need to shut it down, restart it. Okay, so now you can visit the endpoint. Hey, this mark, right? Right. I'm gonna stop. You need to stop the server and then start again. Okay. I will show you another way to make it auto updated. Okay. Answer for Mark. What's the difference between send and render? Okay. So as you know, render from the name of the method, respond.render, right? it will render the template. It will render the template, or you can call it an HTML file or a handlebars file. It will render a template. In this case, the template was here, index, right? Index. Okay, it will render this file. That's why you see it, Express. Welcome to Express. Okay. And I will render that. Okay. Try again. See? When you use render, it will render the template file. And this is actually a server-side view or a server-side front end. And we're not going to use render in this course. So we will use, instead we will send a JSON response for the front end. Okay, so that's why we use, there are two ways to do it. You can either use send, or if you want to send an object, you can use JSON. They're the same. So usually I will use JSON. And a JSON will be an object. Inside that has to be an object or an array. And so data will be, hey, this is the index route, for example. And we need to restart the server. Try again. Okay, we need to, we should remove this file. Because by this file, the server, the web server will look into the folder, the public folder, and find the index file. If it can find it, it will show that file. Just remove it. Okay. And now if you hit refresh, you see the JSON object, and the data will be, hey, this is the index route. Okay. Okay, for Tuấn, router.get. Cool. All right. So then you will find very annoying that every time you change something in the code, you need to shut it down and restart the server, right? So that's another way to make it auto-updated. You can do install another library called notmon, or you can call it notdaemon. I'm gonna say notmon. npm install notmon. Okay, so basically this library will have you to how do you say to auto re-update the code whenever you change something. Okay, just like it's very similar to the hot reload in React. Right? And now, if you want to run the app, you can run it like this. So when you run npm install, actually you run node bin /bin/ww. Actually, you run this file, right? Here we go. Refresh, same thing. Right now, we're not going to use node anymore. We're going to use notmon bin www. Okay, it's different. It's a little bit different. So now we will see the same results, right? But this time, every time we change something, it will get updated right away. Should be updated. Okay. So as you see, when I hit save, it will restart the server due to changes. Okay. So here I hit reload. You see it updated. Okay. So this tool is very helpful. So instead of running node and the file that you want to run, now you change to notmon. And to make this script easier to remember, so we can do npm run dev, for example, like this, or npm style. Normally, people will use npm run dev or npm dev. So to make this script workable, we need to add the script name here. So I'm going to copy down, change this one to dev. And instead of using node, we're going to use node with the same destination, the same file. So, okay, so I'm going to save the packet.json. I'm going to save it and close it. So I'm going to copy this line for you. Okay, close it. So now we can do npm run dev, which will do the same thing, right? So now you can test again. That works. Okay, I'm gonna check on you guys. Relaunch. This step, you're gonna do a no answer. You're gonna repeat this process a bunch of times in the next couple of weeks. All right, that was too fast. All right, okay. Okay, to sum up, you will have to do these three things. Where's the HMB? I'm gonna open this. Okay, for backend, here. First, you will install a couple of modules. npm install node. This one to update due to changes. This one is very important as well. .env to read .env variables. Okay. So right now, just that. If you can also install npm install ASOS as well to call APIs. Okay. I have this error, not more commands not found even if I install it. Okay, you may try to do npm install g.mod. Yeah, do this. Sorry, npm install g.mod. Okay. npm g.mod. Usually people don't install it as a global command though. So here's how my packet.json look like. Yeah, this is how my packet.json look like. Here we go. The scripts. Edit your packet.json to dev script. Okay, so here's a link to the file I'm editing. So go to that file, whatever I'm typing here, you should see it when you reload it. Okay. And also remove the files here. Click index.html. Yeah, for global install, you need to add sudo for Mac. Mac OS or Ubuntu or Linux. Hey, let's wait for 3 more minutes and then I'm gonna ask again. Okay, so see in the code. Hmm. Oh. Okay, when I run mn run dev, it return port 5000 is already in use. Really? So it means that you already run that application elsewhere. So here I will show you a way to kill a decision. So you will have to kill this learning process. So here's how you kill it. Okay, how to shut down a process. Notify engine was specify an urgency. Is it an error? Oh, look, because you're trying to render a template, but you didn't add any view engine to add. Yeah, so how to kill a process? So you want to run, oh my God, this one, so complicated. Okay, here we go. So we check, run this command to for port 5000, for example. Here we go, 5000. And then here, when you run this command, you will see a process that's running on this port. And if you want to kill this process, you can run this command. Then where's T? Okay, so there's no process running on this port anymore. So now you can ambient run dev right here. Okay. So run this one. Run this command to kill all the processes running on port 5000. Okay, relaunch. Okay, we have one. Wow, you always have one person who's not done. 2% now. Okay. You're missing Q. What? No, command file. Or you can use a PID there. How to kill a process ID. Forgot the command line, but you can use it like this. Not this one. Ooh. Yeah. Why so hard? So here we go. So you have the ID of the process by running this command. Running this command, you will see all the process running on 5000. And then if you want to kill this process, for example, this process have the PID if ls or f file. Yeah, okay. Depending on the platform as well. Or I think that it should be in here. Or you can open select the terminal that you want. Click here. If you see two terminal, check all of them to make sure that nothing is running. Right, for look, to starting time, watching part, setting on. Yeah, as well. You can check using your browser. Okay, I'm gonna ask the poll again. Wait, what's so? Hmm. Uh, Luke, can you check that your response object here is not render, not respond, not render, as well as inside here, inside user, check on the routes, or even inside app. Inside app, if you see something that respond or render, make sure you remove it. Okay. Who has problems? Can you say tell us so that we can help you? We need to make sure that we are fine. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, don't use render. Don't use render. Render is for serving the HTML on the server side. We're not going to use it. Okay. Okay, let's check again. Relaunch. If you want to use Sen, that's okay as well. They are very similar. Right, so far so good. Done. Good. So here we successfully set up our web server. Okay. Done. Okay, let's take a little break about the backend side. Let's go back to the front end side. Okay, let's go back to the front end side. Yeah, take a break, a little break. Yeah, go to the front end side and let's refresh our memories a little bit here. So how do I put a form into the homepage? So I'm gonna have a form here, right? And inside the form, I will have on submit, which have a function. Yes. So I need a form in order to have an input box and a button, so that when the user submit the city name or any place name, we will use that name to fetch API, right? Okay, so I'm gonna have an input, two input, one for the box and one for the button. Type equal to button. Value will be submit, or just enter. Here I will have type text. Placeholder will be enter your place name, your place or city name. Okay, okay, I'm gonna check my app. Oh crap, we need to do something here. So you can have an on-chain function, on-submit function right here, or you can just push it to this route. Okay, so I'm gonna use the second way, the second option. Use history from, oh, it's from React Router, so I need to do that. Use history. Okay, so I'm going to do const history equal to use history. Okay, so here I will have E. Okay, here's a quiz. What is E here? So what's E on line 27? Can anyone answer that? What's the E? Wrong. No. not index. It's a form. E here is a form, the whole form. E here is a form, the whole form. So here we will have something called E, right? E dot target dot, yeah, Tuấn is correct. So I will name this input field as city. So I give it a name city here. So now we e dot target dot city dot value. I'm gonna save it. And then let's try it out. Okay. So go to your front end application. This is the home page. In the home page, you will have the input box. So I'm going to type in Hanoi and hit enter. Oh God, it doesn't do anything. Oh, actually, when you hit submit, it takes you to this page, right? Okay. Take you to this route, which is from here. Type submit. Okay, try again. So enter, it takes you to this route. So E here is the whole form, and inside the form we target this field, the name here, this input, which have the name city, and in there we get the value of that form, of that input, which is so right now, right? And then we push to that route. Clear or confused? You give a query. That's weird. Check again. You need to have all submit here. Oh, you may have to do this. Sorry. Okay. You may need to revamp the file as well. Okay, same thing, but I don't see city in localhost. Sorry, where is the component where the page on line 12? It's here. It's very simple. Just one line of. So I try to define everything inside one in one place so that it's easier for you guys to see. Okay. I don't see city in localhost. City in, yeah, sure. You don't see city in localhost. You mean this one, we? Okay, make sure you give this input field a name, right? And then call that city. They call the name city. And E here is inside the form tag, inside the form tag. And E here will be the event of the form. First, we event default, the default behavior when you submit something is will redirect the website to the another endpoint. We don't want that. We need to event default. Second, yeah. And second, we push to a certain endpoint, a certain route, and that route will be we target the name of the field here with the city, e.target a city, and we get the value outside of that. We get the value of it, right? So whatever you type in the box here, whatever you type in here will be the value, right? So I hit enter, it takes me to this route. And how did it work like that? Because we have history.push, and here we have a route with a parameter city. So city here can be anything, right? The value of this params will be anything. Okay. So I don't know why you have that query mark. I didn't have it, as you see earlier. And when you said that, I knew it right away that we need to do a default. Okay. Yeah. All right, Tung, good. Anyone else? Oh my God, I have to keep asking using the poll here. Okay. Stop me anytime that you feel like too behind. Oh, got 2 no's here, which is not right. Okay. 3 no's. Hey, this is React. It has nothing to do with Node.js now. Okay, we have 4 people getting stuck. Which part are you stuck? What's the error? Ta-da! Hello. I want to see your faces. Whoever is done with that, can you get the params value from the page? Okay. Done. Make sure it works, guys. Yes. Cool. Oh my God. Zoom doesn't let me click on the endpoint poll anymore. When I click endpoint, it doesn't do anything. What the heck? Type button, but it doesn't work. Oh, change this to type submit. Change to type submit. Sorry, I didn't use that input for button that much, so I missed that. I might miss that. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, it did. Can relaunch it? If you're done, click yes. If you're not, click no and say something about it. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Next question is, how do we get the value from the URL here? So in weather page, how do we get this value? Does anyone want to give a try? Boom, boom. Long tattoo. What? Okay, we still have a long way to go. Let's finish this front end and take a little break. Then we continue. So I will answer my question. You're gonna use params, right? Use param. Then cons city equal use params. Okay. So now you can construct city. Okay, open the console. When you refresh it, you see solve here, which means you successfully get the value, the param value, right? Cool. Next. There's always next. All right. So what do you want to do with that value? So we have the city. What do we want to do next? Okay. This setup. So I'm going to use city name to fetch the API, right? So here's how I would normally do. Use effect. Okay. And here's the city. Okay. If the city, we will. So right now we don't have any API yet. So assume that we're going to use city to call the API. If this fact is certified, yes. Okay. Done. Okay, now you can try. So I have hit reload. You still see the console log online 47, which come from the use effect here, right? Which is good. Cool. I forgot. Oh no. Okay. Actually, that's okay. You expect have two purpose for now. Two purpose for now. The first one is gonna fire when the component is loaded. Okay. The second purpose is fire when a dependencies, when dependency not one, you can have many because an array, right? When the dependency value change, not change. Okay. Two purpose. All right. Location is undefined. What's location? I have no location. We're here. City. Okay. City. Where is it? Here. Target.city. Okay. All right, done. Okay, there's a better way to improve this code, but I think this is good for now. You will learn how to use memo to optimize your React app performance, but let's not worry about it right now. Just use param and use fake. That's fine. All right. May I ask more about the city? Yes. Wait, hang on. One by one. So certain like 3 person asked at the same time. Okay. Because Dũng have the question first. Okay. What use param return? This return an object, params object. Okay. It's going to be string. Actually, it's a map of string. It's a map of string. So whatever you define here, and the name of the key will be whatever you define here. Where is it? Here. Param is a parameter, right? Parameter is kind of like a variable that can be changed, but you need to give it a name first. So right here, I gave it a name city. Okay, I give it a name city. And that's how inside the weather page here, I have params called city. So if you confuse, let's do it like this. Const query equals use param, and then const use how do I say city, comma set city. But don't copy this. Don't copy me here. Use state react dot use state query dot city. Okay. So here you can just log query. Okay. Refresh. So here you see this is the query object, right? Inside the object we have the city, a props called city, and the value will be shown. So here's this is a long way to do it. You can do it in a shorter way. What will be in use param? Nothing. Wait. So this is the URL that you have, localhost and then /2. So log and lang. What is that? Okay. It depends. Okay, it's time for URL. It depends on where you define the parameter name. For example, here I define the name of the parameter will be whatever that's go after, right after the first slash, and I name it city. So right now, it could be, the param could be, I don't know what you name it, right? I don't know what you name it, but the value, if you have it, the value could be two /0 question mark question and then log equal 1 and then like basically the rest of the string. Okay, so if you have another params here, sorry, another params, country for example, okay, city and then country, and then I'm gonna go to my web page and then Korea. You see an object with 2 params, right? An object with 2 params. The first one is city, the second one will be country. So it all depends on whatever you name it here. It's just sample. It's just a sample. Okay. And city. All right. Who's next? Tuấn. Because Tuấn just said, may I ask for about the city? You didn't give a specific question, so I will answer Ting Ting first. Can I see your upper part of app? This one is simple. So here's the upper part of app. Okay. Next questions. Is the name city online trail need to be as same as the one where it is like user? Yes. 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 Okay. Same branch. Then you have to. Yeah, could be. Not really. Anything after the question mark will be the query. I don't think it's the customer query. Question mark, equal to, right? So if you have country here, nope, it's not going to be like that. So this is going to be the query. It's not the params value. Everything that's follow after the question mark will be the query. Oh, crap. I named this wrong. This is me wrong. There's no API yet. There's no API yet. So I just construct it. Okay, let me go back to the other format. So this would be city. Okay. All right. Then we'll ask this question again before we take like a 10-minute break so that you can play around with the code, right? Ta-da. Okay, so everyone's done. Let's take okay, we only have 6 minutes left to take a break. So let's get back at 3:10 to continue the lab, right? 10 p.m. Okay. So I'm gonna stop recording.